The woman steps into a clearing in the forest and studies the ground beneath the dry leaves. She moves around the trees, checks the slope, and quickly identifies a workable spot for the shelter. From the opening moments, the goal of the day becomes clear. Out of an empty patch of forest, she is going to build a bamboo shelter strong enough to be truly used. Once the location is decided, she begins gathering bamboo and dragging the long poles toward the chosen ground. At this stage, nothing dramatic has taken shape yet, but this work will determine the quality of everything that follows. She crouches beside the bamboo pile, cutting shorter pieces, trimming the ends, and preparing the parts needed for the frame. These repetitive actions reveal the real spirit of the video. The shelter is not built through one dramatic leap, but through many small, steady, patient tasks. Every pole she lays down may become a post, a brace, or a wall piece, so the preparation is quiet but absolutely essential. By the end of this first phase, the site is clearer and the raw materials are ready for the post-raising stage. The first posts rise from the ground, marking the moment when the project shifts from preparation to real construction. From this point on, the viewer can clearly feel that the shelter is no longer just an idea. She aligns each base, stands the vertical poles upright, and starts tying them together with crossbars. It now has its first visible skeleton. This is one of the most satisfying stretches of the first half, because in just a few actions, a recognizable roof frame appears in the middle of the forest. The main frame is tightened with lower cross pieces and additional joints around the body of the shelter. Once the posts are stable, she raises the upper frame and creates a triangular roof line for the shelter. Long poles are placed into key positions, and the structure suddenly gains a much clearer identity. She checks, each side corrects the alignment and pulls more bamboo into working position. The rhythm changes as she splits bamboo into thinner slats and stacks them into neat bundles. These details may seem small, but they will decide how enclosed, cool, and durable the shelter finally becomes. The video changes mood here as well, moving from the weight of framing to the precision of surface finishing. The skeleton is solid enough to move into the phase that turns an open frame into a shelter with real cover. The bamboo panels are lifted onto the roof and gradually secured into a clear covering layer. In a short span of time, shade begins to form underneath, making the structure look far less raw and much more like a true shelter. This is a strong milestone for YouTube editing because the viewer can instantly see the value of the work. After the roof work, she returns to the side sections, adding more bamboo slats and adjusting the joints, so the body of the shelter becomes more enclosed. The frame roof and walls begin to function as one structure rather than separate parts. By the end of this stage, the build has moved beyond a test frame and into a space that can truly provide cover. In the finishing stage, she weaves the side walls more densely and shapes the doorway so the inside feels more enclosed. The visual rhythm becomes less about force and more about straightness, consistency, and practical use. As a result, the shelter does not simply look better, it begins to feel livable. As the walls approach completion, she trims excess bamboo, clears the interior, and finishes the small details left unfinished. This stretch matters emotionally because the viewer begins to see the empty frame becoming a real resting space. The shelter is now close to complete, and every final adjustment makes it feel more orderly and usable. The closing moments stay with the finished result, a small bamboo shelter with a covered roof and closed walls, and enough calm inside for someone to lie down and rest. After nearly 20 minutes of continuous labor, the video ends with a strong sense of completion. It does not need a long explanation, because the image of the shelter standing quietly in the forest already delivers the conclusion.